Today I want to do something a little, but not wildly different. As you may know, I recently concluded a series of videos about the various support characters of Battleborn. And while I have some idea of what to do with a new series in the coming weeks, today I wanted to show some love to one of my new favorite characters, Attikus. Attikus was a lowborn Thrall who was subjected to intensive testing, notably with shard technology. He showed not only physical improvement, but mental and social awareness beyond the other Thralls. Well, according to official Battleborn lore, there had been 2 previous Thrall uprisings on Tempest. It was not until the 3rd that Attikus took charge and led his kind to victory. Obviously, his backstory leans heavily on lore that some might not know or understand, whether from being new or just not looking into it. But I'll get more into lore in the coming weeks. I just want you all to know that I wrote a little winky face there, and I don't remember putting that there, and I kind of hate myself for it. I'm so sorry. Attikus fights for the betterment of all lowborn Thralls, not just with his massive brute strength, but also with his thoughts and voice. He will actually show remorse when killing generate enemies in-game, apologizing, mourning, or swearing to take out Rendain as compensation for the loss. He's honestly one of the coolest characters in the game, and in my opinion is hugely overlooked. While one might assume him to be a senseless melee brute from appearance, one would be slightly incorrect. While Attikus does rely on combos of hammering fists to fight called bare-fisted brawling, he also has 2 separate charge meters that directly affect how he plays. His passive is called Hadronic Collector. This is the 5-notched meter on the right of the HUD. Killing a normal enemy will give a single charge, while major enemies give 5. At full charge, Hadronic Collector powers up each of Attikus' abilities in different ways. For example, while fully charged, Attikus' primary gains 25% shield penetration. The meter on the left of the HUD corresponds with Attikus' secondary attack, Charged Hook. Holding down the secondary fire button will cause Attikus to wind up a devastating punch while the meter charges. Letting go of the button will unleash this punch at whatever power level it was charged to. It has no Hadronic Collector influence. Attikus' first active skill, Pounce, is ridiculously fun. Using it shows the player an arc and target at the destination. Activating it again will have Attikus throw himself along the path to impact the landing marker for moderate damage. With a character who's so big, he has some problems fitting into smaller areas. Having him fly through the air at great speed is highly satisfying, not to mention a bit terrifying in PvP. With a full Hadronic charge, the skill also does bonus shield damage. Next up is Hadronic Arc. Activating this will trigger a very short animation of Attikus powering up. As soon as it's done, Attikus will become electrified, charging all of his punches to shock enemies and deal damage to them over time. When fully charged, it also causes the shock to damage nearby enemies. When combined with Pounce, the skill is devastating and terrifying to fight against. Pouncing at an enemy player at range while you have Hadronic Arc activated allows you to close the distance almost immediately and begin raining down powerful electrified punches. Lastly, we have Attikus' ultimate, Hadronic Eruption. Using this will zoom out to a third-person perspective, and our Thrall friend will begin throwing himself into the air and smashing his fist down, shooting out waves of energy in a line in front of him. While fully charged, the skill also knocks enemies into the air, NPC and hostile player alike. This skill has massive disruption potential on its own, but when charged is a near impossible move to escape from once you're caught in it. As with all characters, Attikus has 5 lore challenges. In his face, land 12 critical hits on Lothar Rendain with Charged Hook. Ascent from the Pits. Win a match on each Tempest map at least once. Echelon, the Saboteur, and the Heliophage. Defender, you have become defenseless. Deal 30,000 bonus damage to shields. Leading the Charge. Activate skill with a fully charged Hadronic Collector 200 times. Rise of the Thrall. Knock up 3 enemies simultaneously 25 times. Unfortunately, there isn't really any trick to these. In his phase and Ascent from the Pits require very specific things, while the rest are simply unlocked through continued play of Attikus in either mode. So all in all, Attikus is a brawler with style. Maybe even some assassin character stylings. He's not nearly as slow as he looks and is more than capable of closing distances and hammering away at those who would dare to hold him back. So just remember as said on the official Attikus announcement post. The only thing more dangerous than a huge imposing beast with an axe to grind against his oppressors is a smart imposing beast with an axe to grind against his oppressors. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you liked this or got something from it, leaving a like or subscribing would be super awesome. I run a small channel, so any support counts immensely and keeps me making content. Until next time, beautiful people.